So, a little while ago, we did some signage for a building in Salem, Virginia. 100 East Main Street, the Century Building. The building was renamed when I made the sign, so we got to name it by making the sign. Lovely gentlemen, Brian and Jay, and my buddy Jay owns Impact Title and Settlement. Did a round aluminum sign for him on the side of the building, and now he wanted a custom illuminated sign to go above a doorway inside the building. So Spike and I went over there one day, took some inspiration from a vinyl sticker he had on the wall, and basically transferred that into CAD and started planning the sign itself, which we obviously sent straight to our Shop Saver plasma cutter and started zapping some metal.
Well, that should make an impact.
Alright. That shouldn't.
First time I said it, it wasn't on camera, so then I had to say it again.
Now, Spike, you say it and I'll laugh.
Now that'll make an impact.
Go back to being sick.
That was pretty funny, Spike.
Thanks.
Impact Title and Settlement.
The first step of most custom metal signs, at least in our case, is a either positive or negative cutout using the plasma cutter. In this case, we used some 1/8 inch steel. Once we cut the sign out and cleaned everything up, I started using some 1-inch flat bar to create a skirt around the outside of the sign. Just tacking everything, cutting it to length, and then smoothing the edges to create some depth. That also sturdied the sign up quite a bit. So, a pretty common way to sort of close off this sign, because otherwise there's just holes in it, is to back the sign with some acrylic. So we got some 3/16 sign grade acrylic, and we cut it to fit the shape of the sign, and then we used construction adhesive to glue it to the back. But before that, we got some red and blue vinyl to change the color of the logo in the same places that the original logo changes color. So the original logo is a white shape with a red impact sign, and then title and settlement below, and the buildings above are blue. So basically we mapped out where the logo hits the plexiglass and made those specific parts of the plexiglass blue and red respectively with the vinyl. Then we used construction adhesive to glue it to the back of the sign. Only after I made some cleats. So one thing we didn't show much in the beginning of the video was the cleat system. They're basically 4 fingers that come off the back of the sign that will engage with 3 angle plates that get screwed to the wall. Basically a French cleat system. Once the vinyl's on the plastic, like I said, it gets glued to the back of the sign. Although the vinyl did give me a little bit of trouble just because it's finicky, and you know, you want to get it clean with all the bubbles out of it and no wrinkles or scratches. So I used a cloth wrapped squeegee and some soapy water to help apply the vinyl in a smooth way. I wasn't satisfied with the single coat of paint, so I went ahead and filled the shop with some more overspray to do 2 and 3 coats of white DTM paint. We use an ALK 200, which is a direct to metal paint, single stage. It holds up really nice, and you can add hardener to it if you want it to be outside, but in this case we just sprayed it right on. Right, so I've actually explored the world of fancy epoxies. You know, with glue you try to figure out what you're gluing to what. You know, is the glue suitable for plastic to metal? But if the metal's painted, it's basically gluing plastic to paint. Do you get a fancy product for that? Every specific fancy glue I've ever used failed, and I did a test with this liquid nails construction adhesive, and for this particular purpose, it worked just fine. Once this stuff hardened up, it was great. So once it was glued down, I got to pick it up and make sure that none of the construction adhesive squeezed out the front. Luckily, it did not, so that's a bonus. And then it was time to figure out the lighting. had a bit of a road bump with the lighting when I realized that the vinyl I selected wasn't completely translucent, even though the lights I selected were very bright. You can see my face almost, how I'm not exactly stoked on it. But then here with the lights off and the reflective backing, you can definitely see the impact light up, but the blue parts are still sort of here or there. So what we decided was that we're going to add another string of lights down the middle, which is just going to add a little bit of wiring, but nothing crazy. And luckily I ordered enough 110 volt LEDs to do that. Yeah, they kind of had to talk me off a cliff. I wasn't very pleased with what I'd created. And of course, everything was already glued down, so you can't really redo it. It's been a tough few weeks, and the guys pick up my spirits, and I'm lucky to have such awesome guys around me. But there was enough leftover lighting, and I ordered some super high bond, some VHB 3M double-sided tape, and some connectors for the lights, and I took this little piece of 3/4 inch aluminum angle to create a surface for the additional strip of lights, so that that strip can light up the upper part of the graphic. The dark blue building part of the graphic was rather dark. So here, this is all direct 110 LEDs, which is awesome. There's no drivers necessary. And I'm using some soldering techniques and some heat shrink and electrical tape just to lock everything in. It's not going to go outside. It's not going to have to be weather resistant, but I still want it to be tight. And here you can see I finally have even light distribution over the whole graphic. Nice side overlay, Walker. That's lots of valuable input from my team here to really add the extra level of zhuzh this sign. Yay, content!
We'll add our boosted boards to this.
Yeah. We're going to go install the impact sign now. Yes, it's time. That sign. The one I've been narrating this whole time. And in real time, I haven't done that yet. The magic of editing. Oh. All right, we're here in Salem at the Century Building. Here's that cool aluminum sign that I built so long ago. And the house number sign we did. And then the tenant sign here on the front. Come in here where we're doing our work. Hello, sir.
Oh, welcome.
Here we are. First off, got to show the people. So look at this awesome safe door.
I didn't realize the skill. Inadequate. I'm safe. Experience until I saw that.
Yeah, I think we got pretty lucky. I love that they have a glass display door.
It's incredible. It's Trevor.
Anyway, thank God we don't have to cut that off. Here's where our sign's going. It's gonna replace the vinyl, which I'm peeling off. So we'll set up a time lapse. And I was a little worried about the cleat system because it seems like with every sign I make, I come up with a different way to hang it on the wall. And of course the wall material changes, so sometimes you gotta adapt and overcome. But these bent angle plates with the bent fingers actually worked out really well. It's like a pretty standard French cleat system. And the benefit is you can slide the sign left to right to center it. You can also just easily lift it up and off the wall if you need to service it for any reason. Massive shout out to this man right here. Helped me get across the finish line. We did it. Look at it. It was great.
Very impactful.
Very impactful. Everyone's had a turn at the impact jokes. I'm very pleased with how this came out. I hope this is coming through on camera, but there's a nice glow behind just about all the graphics and a really nice glow emanating from the outside of the entire set. It covered up the scar left from the previous vinyl. I think really draws your eye. Everything went great. Shout out, I mean, not sponsored, but hopefully this thing was awesome. So, vacuum dust collector, and then what saved the day was this 90-degree driver so we could close the electrical box. But there you go. And I think it looks pretty good. There's big old bay windows in the front of this building, so you'll be able to see this sign from the road, and I think they will be very pleased. And the traffic goers in Salem will have no choice but to hire Jay Vaughn at Impact Title and Settlement to do all their titling and settling. Oh, right, and Lift Arc to do all your custom metal signage. Very pleased with that. Thanks for watching, guys. Please unsubscribe from our channel. No! Sorry. They're making me say that you need to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys.